And welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen. Good morning, guys. Welcome. It is Monday, the 22nd of May. It is a victory Monday. We all love a victory Monday. Victory. Is that a V? Close enough? Yeah. Victory Monday, guys. Obviously, after a impressive, would we use the word impressive? Good. That's the word I'm going to use. Pick a good performance on Sunday against Hibernian at Easter Road. Not spectacular, not outstanding, certainly not to the level that it was against Celtic, but certainly good enough to get past Hibernian yesterday at Easter Road. And obviously now we come into this last week of the season, such a crucial week of the season, obviously with Hearts coming up at Ibrox on Wednesday. More of that later in the video. And then obviously the final game of the season on next Saturday against St Mirren at St Mirren. Obviously the final home game is Wednesday. A little bit on that as well. Obviously, a performance yesterday that was workmanlike, that was decent, got the job done. I think that's about what you can say about it, really. You look at it overall, and I think some of the things that really stood out for me yesterday in terms of what the weaknesses of the performance were, rather than what the good things are. We'll talk about the good things in a minute, okay? We'll get to the positives, don't worry. So don't get all suicidal, don't get all, but what were the good things? What were the negatives? Well, number one, I think obviously there's no out-and-out strikers. Fashion Sakala tried his best. I don't think he was great yesterday, but I do think the fact that we didn't have an out-and-out striker, no one to run the channels, no one to sort of get in behind, no out-and-out target. There's no option to play that Plan B football, is there? Because you've got no one up there. Obviously that would come if you had the likes of Cholak, Morelos at his best, which has not been for a while now. I think that's obviously one of the key reasons why we do need to obviously go and strengthen that striker position over this summer. Obviously, there's lots of names been linked. Madja, Perot, for example, Lauren Shankland, Kevin Nisbet, who played yesterday. I didn't think was that good yesterday. But yes, lots of names. I do think we need something more number nine-ish, shall we say, number nine-ish up front to aim for and to sort of play this style of football that we want to play. Also, a little bit ponderous at times. That was the other one for me, the word ponderous. Just a bit ponderous because it was a bit slow at times. Rangers slowed it down too much. I think, when you've got a team like Hibernian who, when they were defending, they would drop in behind the ball. They would drop in virtually all 9-10 outfield players behind that ball, make it very tough for Rangers. Now, yes, we got the job done. Yes, we scored the 3 goals, and we'll look at the stats shortly. But, at the end of the day, I think we just need to be a bit quicker, pass a little bit faster, get up the pitch a little bit quicker, move the ball a bit quicker, play with a bit more tempo to our game. And I'd like to see them do that on Wednesday against Hearts. A little bit more tempo, I think, is needed. Move the ball a bit quicker, get up the field a bit quicker, and be a bit more clinical in front of goal. I mean, if we look at the stats for the game, obviously, let's start with the main stat, shall we? Obviously, Hibernian 1, Rangers 3. Goals from James Tavernier, Yanis Hadji, and Todd Cantwell. We'll talk about those goals in a minute. Paul Hannon getting a goal in stoppage time for Hibs, taking away Robbie Mccrorie's clean sheet record. And we'll talk a bit about Robbie. A few concerning moments from Robbie yesterday. I'd like to be interested to get your opinions on that as well. So let's go to those stats. Other stats, obviously, shots. Rangers had 20 shots to Hibs, 14 shots. 7 shots on target for Rangers, which we converted 3 out of 7, or just under 50% conversion rate. 2 for Hibs. Possession-wise, Hibs 32%, Rangers 68%, so Rangers dominating the possession of the ball. 287 passes for Hibs, 626 passes for Rangers. Pass accuracy was a lot better from Rangers, 88% and 76%. Fouls, obviously, committed more by Hibs. That's going to happen when they're not in possession of the ball. So, obviously a more statistically dominant performance by Rangers. Some decent performances, some average performances, some okay performances by the boys yesterday. I think one of the most telling things yesterday was this squad is down to the very bare bones. Now, it really does show how thin this squad is at this moment in time. And Michael Beale spoke after the game and was very telling in what he said. The first thing, I think, when the team was released and it came out, the fact that there were 2 goalkeepers on the bench with McGregor and McLaughlin on the bench and also the fact that Robbie Matondo was on the bench caused a few stirs amongst the fans. And why was that? Well, it became more evident after the game, didn't it? Morelos out injured, Wright out injured. Robbie Matondo had a stiff hamstring, couldn't play. Wright obviously failed his fitness test. That's why obviously we had the 2 keepers. We were obviously struggling for numbers. And as Michael Beale said earlier this week, he had 16 players to go into these final 3 games. And there was a bit of worrying injury news, which I'm going to get to shortly as well. So hang on for that about Nicholas Raskin. But overall, we came out, we did okay. First goal obviously was a Tav goal. When you need it, when when you need that goal, when you need that chance to be taken, you turn to Tav, don't you? He's been fantastic this season in terms of his goals output. Now I know everyone's going to come back at me and say they're all going to come back at me and say, "Oh yeah, it's all set pieces, it's all penalties or free kicks." Well, you know what? You've still got to put the damn things away. It's not exactly easy. Take it from someone who's played football. Yeah, okay, not at the highest level. I get it, but penalties are hard to put away. Sometimes, the ref, you're there, you're waiting to take it. Ref's delaying you. The keeper suddenly starts looking massive. The goal looks small. And free kicks are not easy to score, man. Not easy to score at all. Tav this year in the Premiership, 36 games, 16 goals, 9 assists. League Cup, three games, 1 assist as well. Champions League, he got 2 goals. So 18 goals there. 18 goals this season, which is pretty good from Tav. To be our top scorer, which is a bit embarrassing, really. The fact that your strikers have been outscored by your right back, but a goal all the same that was very clever, very brilliantly taken. Had Hibs fans whinging a little bit about the Cantwell free kick. Did he go down a little bit too easily? Well, you know what? The guy still blocked him off, and he's got every right to go down in that position. So, whatever. Tough luck, man. Tough luck. So he scores that goal. Good finish. Good finish by Tav. Really catching out Marshall. Obviously, saw Marshall wasn't at that near post. Just whipped it in there. Got the goal. Super finish from Tav to put us 1-0 up. Went into halftime at 1-0. Obviously, game not a great game, not a fantastic game, a workman-like game from Rangers, enough to get the job done. Then obviously the next goal that came was a goal that meant a lot to this young man here, to Yanis Hadji. Hadji scored that goal. He scored the second goal. And he, fair to say, I'll talk about the goal in a minute. He got very emotional. I mean, if you think about the boy, he has been out for an awful long time with that knee injury. Had his knee rebuilt, has come back from that, has rebuilt his career from obscurity back to being in the first team. And he got his opportunity today. And like I said, that goal did mean an awful lot to him. And you could see the emotion in his face after he scored that goal. Obviously, the ball into the box. Sakala nods it down. Nice bit of target man play from Sakala. Hadji hit it with his right foot. It's blocked. He gets it back. Keeps on going. Left foot, bottom corner. Great finish by Yanis Hadji. And my co-host, Victoria, was exceptionally pleased that Yanis got his goal today to make it 2-0 to Rangers. A few chances, obviously, for Hibs was a great save. One great save by Robbie Mccrorie. And I do want to talk about Robbie Mccrorie shortly after I've talked about the goals. Then obviously we had the Cantwell goal to finish off with, which was, I've got to say, one of the most bizarrest goals I've ever seen in my entire life. It was very weird. It was kind of like, was it Tav shoots, he hits the defender, it bounces back off Tav, it then bounces off the goalkeeper, it breaks to Cantwell, who's there, Johnny on the spot, slams it in the net, 3-0 Rangers. A bit of a jammy goal, a bit of a lucky goal, but hey, you know what? You take them all, however they come, whether they're easy goals, hard goals, worldies like Tav strikes, Tav's free kick at Celtic Park, whether it's a little tap in, whether it's one that goes in off your arse, you take whatever you get, don't you? And I'll take it. Cantwell's 5th goal, I think 8 games or something like that. Record just recently. Fantastic return by Todd Cantwell since he came to the club, obviously signing in January. I don't think Todd had a great game. I don't think he was particularly on it today, not to the standards he certainly was against Celtic. But the one thing about Todd Cantwell today was the fact that he never stopped running. He never stopped harassing and haranguing and harrying Hibs players. He never stopped wanting the ball. He never stopped trying, and that's a big thing, even when you're not in best of forms. 9 goal contributions in 14 games from Todd Cantwell this season. Absolutely fantastic. 5 goals, 4 assists in the league, which I think is a phenomenal return for someone who's just signed in January and obviously is still getting used to Scottish football. So a good performance there. Like I said, not an amazing, not a outstanding performance, a solid performance from Todd Cantwell today. Well, I gave my starting 11 grades, and I know some people are going to shoot me down for these starting grades. Please feel free. They were a lot more generous than some people gave, I can tell you that. So my starting grades were, I give Robbie Mccrorie 5 out of 10, James Tavernier 6 out of 10, John Souttar 8 out of 10. John Souttar, I thought, was absolutely outstanding today. He was man of the match on Sky. He was man of the match overall. I thought John Souttar was absolutely brilliant today. Strong, out-muscled, tackles, slides, interceptions, blocks, good passing out, brought the ball out from the back. It just shows, I think, that with a run of games, with him getting his fitness back, what an outstanding defender we have got in John Souttar. A really good defender, someone who I think will go on to be a club stalwart for a long time into the future. But Leon King came in, did well. I gave him 7 out of 10. I thought, it's his first game in a long time. It's his first game back in proper football. So overall, I think 7 out of 10 is fair. He did well. He came back in. Wasn't quite as good as Suter, but did a very good job for me. Ridvan, 6 out of 10. Ryan Jack was solid, 7 out of 10. Raskin, solid at 7 out of 10 until he went off injured, obviously. Lundstrom, I thought, was okay. A little bit of some dodgy touches at times, dodgy passes, 6 out of 10. Hadji did well, 7 out of 10. Cantwell, 7 out of 10. And Sakala, 6 out of 10. Now, obviously, a concern today was the injury to Nicholas Raskin. Went down injured. And I know a lot of people were, when he went down injured, like, oh, God, not another injury. Obviously, given the fact that we are missing an awful lot of players at this moment in time. But Raskin went off, perhaps more precautionary. At this moment in time, at time of recording, we still obviously don't have any news about the extent of that injury. I think more of it obviously will emerge as the day goes on as to what the situation is once physios get the opportunity to assess Nicholas Raskin and find out a little bit more about the injury and the nature of the injury he has. It was an impact injury from a tackle with, with the Hibs player. So at the end of the day, I just think that, we've got to hope that he's okay. We really do have got to hope that he's okay. We can't really afford to have any more players missing. Obviously, Scotty Arfield came on, did well when he came on for Nicholas Raskin, about a 6 out of 10 there for Scotty Arfield. But I think we really do have to hope that we don't have a situation where Raskin is out for the final 2 games, but especially when you consider obviously that Connor Goldson, it was revealed before the game, has a foot injury and is now out for 10 weeks. 10 weeks of no Connor. Connor we've seen, haven't we, when Connor wasn't in the team, what a vital cog he is in this team. He's the communicator, the general at the back, and we can't afford to lose, someone of Connor's stature. And okay, it doesn't matter now because the season's kind of over and we did okay today. But I just think that, it does show the weakness at the back a little bit that when we don't have Connor, we don't have that controller at the back, that leader at the back. Tav is the captain, I know, but Connor is more that vocal man at the back and is a big miss. 10 weeks out, obviously we wish Connor a speedy recovery. Robbie Mccrorie today. I didn't think Robbie had a good game today. I thought there was obviously that one good save that he pulled off. I can't remember who it was from, but overall there was a lot of flapping going on. There was a ball that came across in the first half that tipped off his hands that he really should have caught. There was a few others that he dropped, that he bobbled, some that he should have punched and cleared out. The goal, I think he could have come and punched and cleared. I think there's a few, he lacked a little bit of confidence. I don't think he had his best game today. I really don't. I really think that he struggled today in terms of his the way he played. And is this a kind of I don't know, a reason why we do need an experienced keeper like Jack Butland and someone to come in and be that experienced number 1 next season? Robbie, I think he had those nervous moments today. Yes, he did concede. I'm not 100% blaming him for that. I think, Robbie York could have cleared that. But overall, Robbie was a bit dodgy under pressure, a bit flappy, a bit nervous. I don't think had a great game today. And obviously, I think there's going to be a big telling factor whether he plays against Hearts on Wednesday and obviously St Mirren on Saturday. And do we see that flappiness again? I hope not, for Robbie's sake, that we can see Robbie back to being the way he was against Celtic and against Aberdeen. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't all bad. There was some good saves, some good reading of the game as well. But there was 1 or 2 moments where it made me nervous. Robbie did make me very nervous at the back, with the way he played. But overall, guys, it's a positive result. It's another win. It's a 3-1 away victory. And as Michael Beale said after the game, the away form's been great. The home form's been good. And the points per game has been good as well since he's come in. And that's what we need to keep up going into next season. And that's one of the most vital things, the most important things for me is keeping that up going into next season, isn't it? That forward momentum, that winning momentum that they've sort of built up over the last few weeks and months under Michael Beale. But overall, pleased with the win, pleased with the 3-1 victory. We go on, we go again, obviously. Wednesday night, we go and play Hearts. Now, interesting comments from Michael Beale after the game when he talked about the fact that an opportunity for players to say goodbye. Now, does that mean that McGregor, Kent, some of those players, Morelos may come back into the team on Wednesday night? That's kind of a hint there. Do we see them? I don't know what his intention is. Or do they come off the bench to get the ovations? I don't know. Also, how are fans going to react to Kent and Morelos and people like that, given how they've been this last 12 to 18 months? Are they going to get the favourable response that perhaps that they may deserve? Going back to 55, remembering what they have done for the club in the long term. I think it's going to be a tricky one for Michael Beale to balance. It'll be really interesting to see what team he names for that Hearts game under the lights at Ibrox. I think it'll be a fantastic night. Under the lights is always brilliant at Ibrox, isn't it? The atmosphere is always cracking, bouncing. I think it will be a brilliant game. I think obviously Rangers will win, hopefully. But, overall, I think it's going to be really interesting, isn't it, to see what happens on Wednesday night at home against Hearts. Other news away from that, apparently Ryan Kent, the whole Fenerbahce thing is not 100% confirmed yet. Apparently Ryan has held talks with EPL teams. Apparently those EPL teams include Burnley and Everton, who have both apparently held talks with Ryan Kent. Obviously, it is guaranteed that Kent is going in the season, will be gone, but he has held talks with Everton and with Burnley. So it'll be interesting to see where Ryan does, in fact, end up. And if Ryan does ever pull on the Rangers shirt again, that will be interesting, especially given those comments that Michael Beale came out with after the game today. Well, guys, it's obviously, we've got 2 games left. We want to finish the season on a high, and then this is all about the rebuild, isn't it? It's all about the rebuild. It's all about bringing in the right players. It's going to be a huge summer, a massive summer. And do you know what? If you want to keep up to date with all the goings on at Ibrox, Glasgow Rangers Nation, your team every day, it's the only place to get your team every day and the only place to keep on top of all that news. So please hit that sub, ring that notification bell, and that means you will keep on top, guys. If you can give the video a like, we would really appreciate it. Your support so far, Rangers fans, has been phenomenal for this channel. It makes me proud to be a Rangers fan, proud to be part of the family. It's been absolutely outstanding. Well, guys, pleased the result yesterday. Let's go on. Let's go again Wednesday night and get another positive result as we obviously build towards the end of the season. What's even better, obviously, cutting their lead to only 8 points. I know the league's over. I get that. Celtic fans, I don't care what you've got to say. You can just shut up. I'll just delete your comments anyway. But 8 points is better than 11. It's better than 13. It's better than 10, isn't it? Then that's one way you got to look at it. And it's more about that positive forward momentum going into next season. Well, thank you so much again for choosing to watch this video from Glasgow Rangers Nation. Thank you so much for all your support, all your fantastic comments, guys. We always try and reply to them. Remember, we are the people, and I will be back to speak to you very soon here on Glasgow Rangers Nation.